Hey guys, StarCraft here, and I know I said in my tweet before that I'd be getting this sooner. Unfortunately, I accidentally deleted the video file, and I kind of just got disheartened to do it until the physical copy came in, in which case this will be a whole lot easier. So, as promised, I'm going to be going over Kamen America Volume 3, Homeland Insecurities. I first gotta say, looking at this cover, I'm not sure if it's because I'm seeing things plainly or I don't know what the issue is, but something about Misha and Carley's face look a little off. Maybe because they're both facing front. I don't know, but compared to the other two covers, look perfectly fine there, and perfectly fine here as well. I'm not sure. Could be just me. I hate to be a nitpicker, but I just want to get that out. Oh, and also, in case you didn't notice, what looks different? Yeah, this one's hardcover. These ones are softcover. I'm glad they're changing formats, but it feels a little off that this is, going to be now so stand-offish from the others. But, oh well, moving on. And right off the bat, I gotta say, I love this book. I loved it the moment I first read it. And there is a huge twist that really shocked me. The reveal in there shocked me. I will go over it. This is going to be a spoiler-filled review, as per usual. But I gotta say, looking back over these two, and that's why I got them here with me, the clues were there. They were definitely there, but yeah, let's just start right off, shall we? I love the inside artwork, by the way. Really good. Yep, same on the other side, so I don't need to show that off. Keep your eyes on the stars and your feet on the ground. Theodore Roosevelt. In other words, look out for greatness, but keep your feet in reality. As we're reintroduced to Sylvia back during high school. Now, Sylvia, if you recall, during this book, was introduced as this girl that Carley felt a rivalry to, and Sylvia never seemed to think she existed. And then she becomes Kamen UN as a bit of a rival for Carley, and the more popular attention-getting. She's basically a girl that Carley keeps on feeling like she gets everything because she's rich. But, yeah, we're introduced. We see Carley, it was talking, Sylvia walk up to Carley, actually talk to her about her, the clothing and everything, saying those dresses you made for everyone else were very enchanting. And then gives her a book on French haute couture, basically to help improve her designs. And Carley does not take it well. She thinks she's being condescended and talked down to. But, wouldn't you know it, in the morning, and that evening, she's reading through it, and Sylvia thinks, I sure hope that book helps Carley. It really feels great to do good, even if they don't like you. And I appreciate that. Also makes Carley come off very petty. But then we see Sylvia looking at the calendar, and it's like, As we see Siggy and Carley, they graduated. And Carley, sure enough, she made her own sash and everything. As they're talking it out, and it's clear Siggy's trying to make it clear how much he feels about Carley, and she's giving it thought too, when we're then introduced to Schultz of Lansky and Schultz. If you recall from this book, he's been in some legal issues with harassment. But yeah, his car breaks down, and, well, because Carley and Siggy are a bunch of motorheads, too, they actually help work on them, or Siggy is anyway. And while they're doing that, she talks to him and promotes about her fashion, and he gives her a card and basically saying, hey, if you want to get out of here, just give us a call. And obviously leaving Siggy on a bad note, but she is so happy until Sylvia starts saying, I knew you'd become a famous fashionista someday, and to think all it took to get you started was that book I gave you. That was a few days ago, Sylvia. Unfortunately, that doesn't help Carley's opinion on her at all. In present day, we're focusing on Kimiko. Misha and Carley as they're showing off all their stuff at a carnival. Yeah, they transform in front of everyone, and yeah, they're basically the Kamen Corp. And given how Kimiko's father does ramen, free ramen! They just toss them all out. But then all of a sudden, during them, some of the people transform into these creatures, and wouldn't you know it, it's Vermilion Masquerade, the woman who's behind all the monsters they've been dealing with lately. And yeah, they're ready to go into action. Kimiko gets overbearing and says, Misha, hey, let's do combos. Wait, what? She gets splashed. And we get a little hint that, oh yeah, her water can affect Vermilion, which she dodged. And Misha's not happy. Then Sylvia shows up as Kamen UN, and yeah, starting to get some of the attention and everything, but Carley is actually, taking it with stride, going off of her character development from last issue. Even Misha says, hey, because someone even says, Kamen UN, does this mean you joined the Kamen Corp? Misha takes it as, hey, at least that guy knew who we were. We're making progress. And yeah, Carley's like, they did say, they thought the show was awesome, so any compliment is welcome. Which I like, as they head off. Is it just me or does the moon look like a rabbit? I think that's intentional. But yeah, Lansky is now on the video call with Sylvia, basically making it clear, saying, hey, things aren't coming cheap. And basically, yeah, he's trying to make it clear, stop focusing on her. They're starting to associate you with each other. If we really want all the top money and everything, yada yada. But then I like it. You see a red rooster, or at least a pastiche of him. But what I also like is you got the Merrimack Maiden in the background from Walmart Volume 2, Walmart First Term Part 2. And I remember in my interview with the guys, Mark Pellegrini and Tim Lim, I asked them, any chance we'll see more of her? Of course, they said, well, if we do, she's going to be a lot less Squirrel Girl-like. Well, having it be that she worked with these guys as well, and given how their track record, people just leave and come up with their own identities, I'm pretty sure that in my headcanon, that's a setup for it. But yeah, they make it there, and they meet up with Vicky, who's looking over the mud, and Kimiko's getting a little overzealous with the bell ringing, causing Misha to do her fire breath of saying, leave it alone, Kimiko! But yeah, they meet up with Vicky, and Vicky's all like, oh, how's it going? Oh, the usual, huh? And then, now, keep in mind, Vicky is someone who had it drilled into her by their teacher, who, I should point out, regretted her actions in life and died because she became homeless. And only Carley knows this. Vicky, no clue. I just want to point that out. But she drilled it in, the teacher unfortunately drilled it into Vicky, thinking you should break the glass ceiling and all that. Then what happened when Vicky went into STEM into college and everything? Oh, it's mostly females anyway. The only males in there, nothing to worry about really. Yeah, sure, some glass ceiling to break. It's quite clear Vicky wants to be special. I'm just pointing it out because she then starts pointing out how she's recognized as benign energy. Then she starts just going off, to say how the radiation is unlike anything I could find on record beyond the theoretical. That's why I missed it in my previous research. I was working on the assumption. But now that I know that I'm looking for it, I'm positive I've cracked the mud secret. I just need a little time and effort to study this strange new radiation. To which Carley points out, oh, you mean the Chimeratrons? Which was introduced during both Black Ops and the earlier volume of Kamen America. And, whoops, close the book. Hold on. Yeah, they're the particles that made up the Cryptus catalyst radiation, of which Vicky so tell now feels upset. Well, Carley's constantly giving her compliments, saying like, hey, no, you did good. In fact, Dr. Gracie told him about it. Oh, you should give him a call. You two eggheads should be able to talk it out. He'd love to see your research. So even gives a call and everything, and you see Vicky putting on a red coat as she leaves, slamming the door. And you can so tell she goes from fire to just destroyed. She just looks like she's really taking this personal. More on that later. As we then see that turns out Siggy owns a gun shop and Misha works there with him. And there's some nice going on with them. Even a little bit of flirting as well, even though they're talking a bit about him and Carley. But then I love it how what happens, like there's a ding at the door, pull out a shotgun and shoots at, well, one of Vermilion's creatures. Yeah, she compliments on his instincts and even asks the big question. How does she know where I work? Good question, don't know. Then she starts to fire up and Siggy points out, right as she finds out, besides the hazard of live ammo lying around, your flames are bound to set off the sprinklers. And yeah, she's like duly noted. As then we cut to Carley, Kimiko, who is with her father at a Forbidden Panda Oriental restaurant, trying to make it sound, more, our Chinese restaurants have Oriental. Trying to correct those things, but yeah, they're talking now, showing that things are going very well for them. He's constantly encouraging them, questioning American Asian food. Then all of a sudden, everything starts going crazy. She powers up and starts dealing with these creatures as everyone starts to, as he clears everyone out, which I do like this. I love it when you have a family member who's willing to help out, saying, okay, everyone, move, move, move. As then we see, at the same time, we see on the Rosie Shadow show, Carley's on there being questioned and grilled as Lansky is watching her squirm. As Rosie then starts making comments like, when they bring about Kamen UN, like, could have fooled me. Every time the Kamen Corp fights a monster, Kamen UN seems to be there to show up to be the best you. They're even told, like, hey, no matter what happens, keep rolling. Meaning something's going on. They keep taunting her until eventually, I've read from a reliable source that you had a rivalry back then, that you were always trying to one-up Miss Prestige, that's her last name, at any given opportunity. Perhaps you aren't as magnanimous as you pretend to be. Then it's revealing it's Vermilion, and in the background, we find out, oh, there's the real Rosie, as she's just sitting up there saying, you just don't get my art, Miss Vanders. Jim Taunter saying, like, your friends aren't coming. No one's coming. Just kidding. As Sylvia shows up and she puts up oh, look who it is. It's Sylvia. It's, ready to fight. She's wanting to help out, but Carley is not having any of it. And the two start bickering, saying, you don't have a monopoly on helping people. You only help people when the cameras are rolling. And they just bicker as Vermilion starts moving her hand as she somehow manipulates her abilities and causes lightning to strike Sylvia in the butt, and Sylvia to cut off her, what we earlier with Kimiko find out is you have that little hair dangling. It's called a hoagie. That's what it's called. That's the hair version, not the sandwich. They make that joke too. As the two just keep on arguing, saying, why'd you hit me in the caboose and all that? And then they just keep on fighting it out more and more until, and as they keep on bringing stuff up, saying, you caught your attack names? What are you, 12? They just keep going. But Lansky's like, this isn't what he wanted. He did not want it to go like this. As, they just keep on bringing up, saying, like, helping people takes money and all this stuff. They just keep arguing and arguing, coming up more and more petty. As, Carley said, like, I've toured with the USO, gave clothes to the homeless, and beat up dinosaurs. What have you done? To it, like, you're turning charity into a contest and have the nerve to call me petty? I've donated millions to countless causes. My money has built orphanages, hospitals, and animal shelters. I went to Africa. As the two just keep arguing more, Vermilion just smiling, and they both say, you're not better than me. And then once that happens, they both stop and then realize, what started all this? They don't even remember, and they just start to calm down, realize that, yeah, this isn't what they wanted. Then Vermilion just starts laughing, saying that you are both incredibly, laughably stupid. Then Carley's armor starts to melt as it's revealed it was never really armor. It was Vermilion's mud the whole time. And she's taking her gift bag, backstabbing Lansky, and leaving Sylvia just completely distraught. She's like, I was trying to do good. Yeah. As everyone's regrouped back at the house, and Carley shows up with Sylvia. And yeah, once again, it's the you have Kimiko saying like, gas! Carley Senpai is befriending his arch rival. Misha, who was in that role once before, saying, real original. Siggy, of course, is all like, hey, how's the bait shop doing? As they just keep on talking, making clear about the mistakes, but how they want to keep moving forward and everything. And then they're saying like, hey, we should head to Area 51 and get you checked out. Then we see, they're being dropped off. Vicky's dropping her off. Sylvia's trying to be polite, saying, hey, if you want, I can help pay for pet sitting for your pets. And Vicky just snarls, saying, listen, my job is to feed the capybara, collect the mail, and drive everyone around. Don't take any of that away from me. She is starting to belittle herself a bit more. As also, again, a little bit more flirting with Siggy and Misha, which makes Carley be like, what's all that about? But yeah, now I should point out, Misha points out about the time limit, but that's the only time she brings it up, as then days go on as they go through different areas of the country as they're en route, or throughout the whole day, until they finally make it up to Area 51, and yeah, they are being scanned. Kimiko's given a clean bill. And then the good doctor points out how with Sylvia, there's something interesting. Basically, she's been exposed to a small part of, because she had all the mud on her, it's affected her. Basically, she's developed a slight bond with that type of material. The material of the catalyst, the type of chimeratons. And yeah, basically, he also points out how right after Kamen UN shows up, the Department of Homeland Security went there, and Lansky and the others gave him a whole bunch of legal bullshit. But now, with things him being associated with Vermilion, that's starting to fall apart. And we then find out, we finally get some more answers. Turns out there's only going to be 4 of people who've developed their abilities. Because it turns out everything came here from a satellite, the meteorites that struck them were actually part of a probe that was sent to explore Venus. That became saturated with chimeratons, broke into 4 pieces and crash landed in Hanklur, which is where Carley was found, Groipar, which is where Misha was, Yoshima Prefecture, which is where Kimiko was, and Raccoon Ridge, Indiana. Where most of the story is taking place in. Again, more on that later. But yeah, they spent years covering it all, and they were trying to make their own Unity armor based off of everything. Then they bring it up with Sylvia saying, you learned to figure out that suit. She points out with a funny montage, wasn't that easy, but it took me forever, but now it's become second nature. That she's mastered it in ways that no one else can, because again, her running parallel with everything. Meanwhile, you have people outside Area 51, bickering, when all of a sudden Vermilion shows up with her own little alien mech, leading a whole bunch of saying, oh, it's an alien! Vermilion's an alien! But yeah, Sylvia and Dr. Gracie stay behind as the girls, the Kamen Corp, run outside. And yeah, they're going in on the action and everything. They start doing some attacks, a big one, Tunguska Blast, after, Misha warns Kimiko. Then, at her suggestion, they actually do a combo. The Freezer Burn! I'm a Ruby fan, and yeah, I'm not going to touch that one. Let's just say that attack's been used before. But yeah, they just keep on fighting it out, and they keep fighting out more. And Carley starts to get the upper hand of Vermilion, who's getting cocky, but then eventually he's all like, they say, you're done? Then they power down. Misha saying, Why does no one ever listen to me? You brought that up the day before and you just went right into action, not even thinking about it, Misha. Please don't be all like, why does no one listen to me when you didn't even listen to yourself? As we then see, everyone's just pulling out. Gracie's saying we should wait for the cavalry, and Sylvia just feels like, I'm such a screw up. All my life, people used her for her wealth and status. She let him do it because she really thought she was doing good. And basically, Gracie says, it was built to, the suit was built to augment Carter's abilities. But then he brings up a good quote. It's not the critic who counts, nor the man who points out how the strong man stumbles. The credit belongs to the man in the arena, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again. And if he fails, does so while daring greatly. And basically now saying that she's the cavalry. As they all and the girls all make inside a hangar as Sylvia shows up, keeping what she's wearing secret, but she's basically saying how the attack's being broadcast. There's no time. I need your mask. As the door opens, all of a sudden a bunch of blasts start coming through. They're all like, "Wait, what's going on? How can this be?" And Sylvia comes up dressed as Kamen America. And Vermilion is completely like, what the? And what the? Then she starts saying, I saved this one for you. Hand-spun, handmade haymaker. Decks her right out. And of course, everyone thinks that is Kamen America, and her popularity is now surged big time. You then see Misha saying how, maybe I was wrong about her, but she had to steal your own gig. To which, Carley's all being out, virtues his own reward. But then Sylvia shows up saying, Kamen America is not a legacy. It's you. It's always just been you. And no one else will ever be Kamen America. Only she will. Then Vermilion is back right up and knocks Sylvia aside. And she is just grrr, as Misha slams the doors closed. And then we finally get a little bit more revealing about how their powers work, which is that Kimiko points out, when I performed at a spa restaurant, I was able to stay transformed past the 3-hour limit. It was because of all the steam in the air. If we dose ourselves in our elements, we might be able to force a momentary recharge. Although Misha points out, they're in a hangar. There's no heat or water, and without any storm cloud, there's not enough ionization to carry supercharge for Carley. Then it turns out there's a bunch of beer. Kimiko goes right to glug, 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 glug. And I love how Misha's like, oh boy, I hope this ends up better than my 18th birthday. Wonder what happens there. But yeah, she is pounding, and Vermilion's pounding at the door. And listen to what she says. You want to know what my problem is, Carley? You! I'm going to beat you, Carley. Then the whole world will see. You aren't so special. You aren't so great. So let's take this outside. Smile for the cam gets dosed, hosed badly. And everyone gasps as we find out. You all ready for this? It was Vicky the whole time. Yeah. I was shocked at that. But, like I said, as soon as I finished reading, I immediately took out these books. And there's clues there. There is clues there, even in the first one. Like, even in the first book, when Carley gets picked up by Vicky and everything. Oh, they're coming up as best buddies and everything. But then when Carley asked about what Miss Wormy never picked on her, she then brings up, like, I just wanted to be a geologist. And she was all about the science. Told me to grow up, get the degree, and break that glass ceiling. Saying to the total fruitcake, but you can tell that did some damage on her. Then, one thing I only caught very recently, you see, they got some of the monster mud from Vermilion and a jar of it. Look at with her. I didn't catch this because I thought it was just a case where she like, but it's bending alongside her. I think she was manipulating there, but no one caught it. But yeah, basically, you can see that the start of her, through being Vermilion, is going to start using it too as a way of saying like, oh yeah, I'll attack you. I'll send my monsters out. You'll be attacked. but then you can bring the mud to me so I can study and show off my knowledge. Putting on a bit of a performance so I don't make it look too easy. And then in this book, when we start seeing her, you go to start to see that, when she was younger, she was still definitely very mousy. But yeah, then we see her. She went to Lansky and she has her own code of honor and everything. And basically she started doing it more about artwork instead of being a geologist, which, again, she thinks that she's plateaued in that regard. So she started focusing on artwork, of which we find out later she's good at, but she needs to push herself for that. But yeah, I mean, look at how Vicky is. She's now feeling a bit like unhappy about how Carley is just, loathing about and everything, and like even saying like I'm able to hey, you're not taking me seriously. And that's where I feel why she started to amp her game up a bit as Vermilion, so that Carley could get more mud, bring it over to Vicky, and she can study it. Also, yeah, we know that mud's a lie, but notice how it gets more agitated the moment Vicky holds on to it. Gee, wonder why. Again, probably putting up a bit of a performance. Oh, by the way, that inside cover was from here. But yeah, this being Vicky, especially when you see how things went here, especially when she finds out that whole long-term plan of hers of being all like, oh yeah, I cracked the code! Wait, what do you mean you already know about this stuff? Crypto catalyst what? Because, yeah, I mean, I would have thought Carley would have told her. Maybe she did, but Vicky wasn't paying attention. But, yeah, and then listen to what those last words were before she got dosed. Like, I'm going to beat you, Carley. Then the whole world will see you aren't so special. You aren't so great. She has resented Carley just being able to keep up what she wanted, no matter what happened, no matter what the teacher did. And yet, what did Vicky do? Followed in the way of the teacher. Did she really want to be a geologist? Starting to wonder that. Feels a bit more like, this is my own theory, she convinced herself she wanted to be a geologist, when deep down she wanted to be an artist or something, and just something that made her feel good. And so she followed what the teacher said, trying to be a geologist, trying to break that glass ceiling so she can be special, and then found out they're way too late. And since then, that's just been building up the resentment, and then the pro part landed next to her, causing her to gain her abilities. And since then, and we already know, she was working with Lansky even before Carley became Kamen America. That was made very clear. So, again, now, he doesn't state, though, if what we saw where, the bit where Carley got a bit of that mud sample and everything, was that the first time they worked together? We don't know yet. But, yeah. Now, we get a bunch of, I should point out, pinups and everything, real good stuff. Really just love this artwork, really do. But yeah, we then pick up with the cliffhanger from Black Ops Volume 3. No, not Black Ops Volume 3. Kamen America Volume 2, where Apex Moss and Hair Trigger are with them. Now, clearly between things, Vicky got away. But yeah, Lansky's leaving them there, basically saying how, the feds have been breathing down their neck and everything. But eventually he's then let go as they make it over to Vicky, who is trying to figure everything out. And now it's made very clear. When she's Vicky, her hair is short, she has her regular glasses. When she becomes Vermilion, the mud increases, changes it to her domino mask, and her hair gets longer. But I just love it though. It's like, we'd like to commission you. As soon as she recognizes them, she gets back to being Vermilion and cocky, saying, a real celebrity. Kanya Lavakova, the hair trigger of Ninja. I've met your sister. She has better fashion sense. But then she says, but I have better aim. Basically, to make it clear, you want to commission me? Well, let me tell you right out of the gate. I don't kill, and I won't create anything that will kill for you either. They basically said, though, we have enough killers in our ranks already. That it's talent that I'm thinking. And I can tell you are suffering a creative block at the moment. Given your recent setback, personally, I've had a great deal of experience with monsters. I believe I can help inspire you to be continued in Black Ops X Kamen America. I can't wait. Oh, one more pinup page by Rags, and that's it. Yeah, this was damn good. And that twist at the end, like I said, I didn't see it coming. The artwork, the writing, everything is so good. And remember, all of this stuff, all of this has been by them. With, besides this being the first one of the year, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 books last year. Of course, one of them was just a small portion of Walmart, but whoops, wrong one. Sorry, these ones all came out last year. So just imagine how many they're going to get out this year. As always, I cannot wait. I really can't wait. And everything, again, is so good. I just might make gratuitous butt shots this time around. Don't know if that's just by happenstance. I don't know. But again, I really like this. I'm just loving where everything's building up to. And we're going to have this big crossover finally. Been waiting for that since the end of Kamen America Volume 1. I just cannot wait at all. So that's all I got to say. Within a few days as of this recording, I will be getting my Earthworm Jim Volume 2. I will definitely be reviewing it as soon as I get it. So until then, I'll see you guys later.